I used to attend a session with the goodwill of Dr. Pariplavi. We were together in Osmania Medical College from 1978 onward. And then she was a student at that time, and she retired, but I haven't retired. So I'll just take a few minutes for you to just tell you what we are going through in medicine now. Can I have the next slide?
Slide.
Being in medicine today, while the slide is getting ready, amongst us sitting here, did you notice anything interesting? Any of you can speak. Well, medicine is not just for doctors and nurses alone. It is everybody across the system we deliver. It is whole society has to be part and parcel of it. And I see, I pointed out this earlier when I attended these sessions. I don't see any single medical administrator here. I don't see anything who administers medicine from the secretariat. That's not right. I also don't see many teachers participating in these sessions. That's again not right about medicine. So, medical education today, I was talking to our principal. He was telling me there were some significant changes. And the NMC, National Medical Council, has done a good job in doing this. And the problem at the time when we were educated, and also some of you are going through, is technology has changed our world, and the practice of medicine has enormous changes in it, to the extent technology overtook patient-centeredness in medicine. But this widening gap between technological, application in medicine and its application to individual patients and the community has become a serious problem. In 1910, Abraham Flexner came out with a report on medical education of that day. It is called very, very critical report, to the extent around 150 colleges were closed in US and Canada. And then the emphasis was on clinical skills, biological knowledge, and also research. So today's practice of medicine, we have two pillars, namely basic sciences and clinical sciences. For the last more than 100 years, we have been practicing this. And I believe NMC had made some changes. I am very happy to hear about it, but it's not adequate. So, when you apply this basic science and clinical science, we realize now that the care we provide in the hospitals we all work, in the practices we are involved in, and the tertiary care hospitals, so-called high-end hospitals, both private and public, they deliver only less than 10% of required health care. So you can see the tip of the iceberg. We make a difference only to that smallest population who fall ill, and rest of the healthcare delivery system is completely ignored. To make it happen, we need to alter the way medicine is, people are educated and also practice now. That's called introduction of the health system sciences. In the late 90s, the American Medical Association came out with an idea of introducing the concept of health system sciences beyond basic science and clinical science. The health system sciences involve, namely third pillar, is not only individual patients, not only individual doctor, but whole healthcare delivery model, not only doctors and nurses, physician assistants, everybody involved, nutritionists, psychologists, whatnot, everybody has to be involved in delivering care. The students have to be involved right at the beginning of their career in the first year, not later after second or third years. in caring for the patients. So that is the third pillar of, say, delivery of healthcare. So the student must understand now that the broader system of healthcare, the principles of policy, economics, population health management, interpersonal collaboration, behavior and social determinants of health, health system improvement. Currently, most medical education programs are not providing sufficient education for health system content and concerns. I am glad to know the NMC made some beginnings in the way they are doing it. Not only that, in the days when we entered medicine, or even today, the basis was biological science. If you knew mathematics well, you went to engineering. If you don't know mathematics, you entered medicine. But it's no longer acceptable today because advances in technology, molecular biology, genetics, information technologies, all this is required that you have to know physics, otherwise you won't understand technology. You have to know chemistry. Chemistry is biology. You have to know social sciences. You have to learn management skills. You have to know leadership skills, whatnot. So the requirements have changed. So this requires that we have to learn to manage ourselves. To manage ourselves, we have to not only learn clinical skills and individual components of medicine we are doing now, but all other sciences have to come into this. But none of us, neither as teachers or students, can go through all this. That's the reason why students from different backgrounds of mathematics, information technology, chemistry, biology, they have to enter in. The concept of, say, health university or medical college in isolation is an anomaly that won't be able to deliver the goods. The medical college should be part and parcel of a university or a larger system where teachers from other walks of life come in, students also go in. To the extent, imagine a social science teacher in the university takes around in the hospital. So that's the way it should be. So, but to be able to do all this, the famous saying for American Medical Association is, will never transform the prevailing system of management without management transforming our prevailing system of education. They are the same system. Then I was asking your principal and Pallavi, is there anyone from medical administration or secretariat or any politician attending this? The moment we say politicians, people generally have a negative opinion about it. And also a loss of trust in medicine also made even doctors not trusted these days as it used to be. But don't mistake the profession for the practitioner. Politics is a great science, but don't mix it up with the way politics is practiced. Same thing applies to medicine. You know, how many of you heard of Rudolf Virchow? Can you raise your hands? The father of pathology, information, the triad. You know, in 1948, in Germany, what he said? Medicine is a social science, and politics is nothing more than medicine on a grand scale. Without political involvement, nothing great can be achieved. Do involve them, educate them, get them into the system, take the risks. That's the reason. So I suggest, how many of you read this book or saw this book? This is published by American Medical Association, Health System Science. I think everybody should read. Not only the students, but also the teachers, politicians, health secretaries, and of course others. They have to read this book. So how do we achieve it? So how much more time I have? You can just tell me, I will finish. You can tell me. Okay, just a few more minutes. How do we achieve all this? This requires that you have to be healthy and well. It is fundamental We are all healthy and well. We are going to deliver the system. In, say, Greek belief, Greek philosophy, to be healthy is considered a virtue. So, to be healthy, the American Heart Association came out with called Life Simple 7. 4 health behaviors. You have to be physically active during the day. You have to eat the right type of food, not to use tobacco, not to be overweight. And 3 health factors are cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar. Then, physical activity, don't sit idle from morning to evening. Every 1.5 hours, move around. That's particularly important. Not only you do that, tell your family members, tell the community. Now, how many of you never got your blood pressure checked? Can you raise your hand? How many of you never got your blood pressure checked? All of you got? You are far improved from the outside to now. I see even cardiologists never got their blood pressure checked. Ophthalmologists never had their eyes checked. It's happening even now. So exercise is fundamental. Beyond 30 years of age, our muscle slowly atrophy. It's called sarcopenia. So if your muscle mass disappears, your insulin resistance rises, diabetes increases. So do some strength exercises, yoga, and walking and others. I won't go into details except telling you. Sleep is fundamental to be healthy. Minimum at your age, you should sleep for 8 to 9 hours. And as age advances, it may become less. But ideally, you should get more than 7 hours. Don't see the TV, don't use your cell phones often. Don't look at your computers 2 hours before going to sleep. So, at the end of all this, you have to have a purpose in life that keeps you engaged. Choose the right institution and platform. And be willing to ask 2 fundamental questions at the end of all that. How will you measure your life? What do you want to be remembered for? For some of us sitting here, me and Pariplavi, it may be too late. But for you, it's time to ask, what is that you want to be remembered for? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.